Hello guys, and welcome back to another Borderlands 2 community patch video. Today we're going to be talking about 0 and we're going over patches 3.0 and 3.1. You might wonder why I'm doing that. It's because there aren't that many changes to the characters in each of these patches alone. But together, consolidated, it makes it easier for you guys and easier for me. So as always, if you want to download the community patch for yourself, links are in the description down below. So let's get right into it. First skill that changed is Deception, surprisingly. So if you notice down on the orange text next to the next level, it used to say critical damage. They removed this from the Deception description because it wasn't working right and they really couldn't fix it, so they just took it out. So now it just has melee damage and gun damage. Next skill that changed is Optics. So it increases your zoom with all weapon or gun types. Additionally, your aim is not disrupted as much when taking damage and you gain aiming speed. So in the new patch, it adds aiming speed and increased aim steadiness. So I think it added 2% per point on top of the zoom. So it's a nice skill. Most snipers will already pick it up. So nothing too surprising there, but it is just a nice buffing what people already use. Next skill is Kill Confirmed. Originally, it took time to stack. So after you look down sights, it'd take a second or two to start gaining these stacks of critical hit damage, which was plus 8%. In patch 2.0, they let the stack start gaining instantly and then every 2.5 seconds after the instantaneous first stack, but the damage was nerfed to 5%. And then in 3.0, they reverted the damage back to 8% but kept the instantaneous first stack. So they figured out the damage was just too low with 5%, but they still wanted stacks to gain instantaneously. So another awesome skill. Snipers always use it. They're always looking down sights. And critical hit damage is very strong. Next skill that changed is Grim. It's a kill skill. Killing an enemy causes your shields to quickly regenerate and increases your action skill cooldown for a few seconds. So the change is now it gives a 4% cooldown rate per point when it used to be a 1.5%. And something else you'll notice is Grim and Fearless are now switched in the skill tree. Fearless is now in Bloodshed and Grim is in Cunning. So it makes a lot of sense. When you're in a melee build, your shields are always going to be depleted, so getting that fire rate and newly changed health regen is really nice and a lot better than regaining shields, because that doesn't make any sense. You're trying to keep your shield down. Awesome change. Really like that one. Next skill that changed is Innervate. In the previous patch, or before all the patches, originally it gave a 0.8% health regen per point. In the previous patch, this was buffed to 1.2% health regen, which the creator thought then it was too strong, so it got nerfed in patch 3.0 to a 1% health regen per point, as you can see right now. They also changed the 2% gun damage to 4% status effect duration, which in OPA status effects and dots grow exponentially in damage, so having this skill really helps survivability, and that's what the whole Innervate skill is about. It's not supposed to be damage. Next skill that changed is Counter Strike. It increased the chance to deal the increased 50% damage, because after getting hit, your next melee attack has a chance to deal increased damage. They didn't say how much the chance was, but I assume it's enough to make it worth it and make people feel like it's an actual buff and can notice the change, unlike a lot of other skills. Next skills, we'll work our way down to Be Like Water. Shooting an enemy increases the damage of your next melee attack, and melee attacks increase the damage of your next shot. So originally, this skill used to give plus 6% gun damage and plus 4% melee damage per point. These were obviously switched, so now you gain more melee damage than gun damage, which makes a lot of sense. Bloodshed is a melee build tree, like that's what you're going in it for, so your skills should buff melee damage more than they buff gun damage, because it doesn't make any sense before that. So awesome change. Next skill is Fearless. In the previous patch, it was plus 5% fire rate and plus 3% gun damage originally. They changed the fire rate to reduce dot duration or damage over time in patch 3.0, and then in 3.1 they came back and didn't like the change, so they reverted reduced dot duration to rate of fire, which you can see above the plus 5%. But then they changed the gun damage to 0.3% health regen per point, which also makes sense. When your shields are depleted, you don't want your shield, or you don't really need the gun damage. You want maximum health and regen. Last skill is Like the Wind. It added a 5% chance to dodge bullets per point, and they didn't really go too much into this, but I think it kind of works. Like, when you get shot, there's a chance that it just won't deal damage. No new animations were added. That's out of the scope of this whole community patch thing. But thank you guys so much for the support on these past few videos. I'm trying to finish these up. I still have a few more Borderlands 3 news and speculation, or just theory crafting videos coming in the future. So if you're down for all of things Borderlands, subscribe. Next thing up, after I finish all these community patch videos, I probably have 5 left. Then I want to move to the pre-sequel community patch videos, where I'll spend a lot of time while still putting out Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 videos. So if you want that, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.